In this video I'm going to talk you through how to install VMware and how to download and install your virtual machines onto VMware. First thing you need to do is jump onto Moodle. Down at the bottom of Firewalls you've got the link to download your VMs. That link will bring you onto my OneDrive. My OneDrive has Client 2016, which is Server 2016, the DMZ, the firewall, the virtual router, the network configurations, and the VM workstation installer. You need to download each of these onto your own system, but beware, they are about 66 gig to download the whole lot, so they do take a bit of time. So I've already downloaded the stuff that I need to do, and I've got VMware on the desktop, network configurations on the desktop, and I've got my virtual machines downloaded and into my virtual machines folder. So to start, you need to double click on VMware. Yes, you want to install. Right, for the setup, welcome to VM Workstation Pro Setup. Click Next. Yes, you accept the license. Click Next. Now for everyone else, you need to click in Enhanced Keyboard Driver Install. For me, I'm not going to click that at the moment because I'll need to restart the system at the end and it'll knacker up my video. So make sure you click the Enhanced Keyboard Driver option. Click Next. For me, I'm not going to join the VM experience and I'm not going to check for any updates. You can leave them selected if you want. Click Next. I'm just going to leave the shortcuts on the desktop in the start menu. Again, you can either have them or leave them, it's up to you. And then do you want to install? Install. And then once it's finished, we're just going to click Finish. Once it's finished installing, if you've selected the Enhanced Keyboard Driver, you will need to reboot your system, but because I didn't check it, I don't need to reboot. So I'm going to double click on VM Workstation. Now at the moment, everyone else is going to have to click, I want to try VM Workstation 15 for 30 days. I've got a license, so I'm going to put the license in, but unfortunately for you guys, you will need to pick a VM Workstation trial for 30 days. If the situation doesn't improve any, we will need to see about getting you a license key so you can continue on past the 30 days. But at the moment, click Continue, and Yes, and then Finish. Should I say, my evaluation period says it's 469 days, which I don't know why, it should only be a year, but your evaluation period will say 30 days. Now that VM Workstation has been installed, we need to configure the network before we can start importing our VMs. The network that we need to set up is this one here, which as you can see is more complicated than any other one that we've used in VirtualBox so far. The reason we've moved on to VMware is VMware allows far more configurations over networks than what VirtualBox can. For our firewalls, we need to set up 7 separate interfaces and 7 separate networks. So we've already set them up. All you need to do is import these network configurations into your version of VMware. In order to do that, click on Edit, go down to Virtual Network Editor. In order to make any changes, you do need to have admin rights on the system that you're on. So for me, I'm just going to hit Change Settings. Yes, I want to make changes. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to import these settings. Because at the moment we've only got 3 networks set up. VMnet 0, VMnet 1, VMnet 8. So we're going to import, and I'm going to import my network configurations that I downloaded from Moodle. Now that our import's finished, you can see we've now got our 7 VMs set up just as they are in the book. So we can click OK. Now we need to start importing in our virtual machines that we've downloaded from Moodle. If you click on Open Virtual Machine and browse for wherever you saved your VMs. So I'm going to start off with client 2016. Pick on the VMX file and click open. Then we'll do the same with each of the other ones. So we've got file, open, the DMZ, the file and open, the firewall itself, and we'll open up the virtual router. So as you can see, we've now got client 2016, the DMZ, the firewall, and the virtual router. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start all these up, and then we'll get into the configurations. Before I start up the VMs, I'm going to change some of the settings. So these are configured to run on a minimum of 16 gig RAM. Because I'm working on my laptop, I've got far more RAM than 16 gig, so I'm going to tweak up some of the settings a bit in order for them to run slightly better. So for server 2016, if you want to make any changes, select the VM itself and click on edit virtual machine settings. So for me, I'm going to go into memory. I'm going to give it 10 gig. For the firewall itself, that's in at 5.5, that can stay there. The virtual router, 512 meg, I'm going to give that slightly more. So memory, give it 2 gig, 5.5, and the DMZ, 512 meg, so I'm going to give that 2 gig as well. Gig. And then to start up your virtual machines, click on the one that you want, and then the green triangle at the top. So I'm just going to start them all up at the same time. So down to the DMZ, start it up, the firewall, start it up, and the virtual router, and start it up. Okay, now all my virtual machines have started up, let's check to make sure we can sign into each. I'm going to make these full screen, and we'll start with the client. For VMware, trying to sign in, you can't do the Control Alt and Delete because it will bring up your task manager. In order to get in, there's this wee button up here, you can click that, which will send the Control Alt Delete command to the server. The password for server 2016 is capital PAL0. Oops, help if I type. Capital PAL0, capital ALT0. All the passwords that you need should be in the lab configuration manual, page 8. So that's our server set up. We'll now click on the DMZ, which is a CentOS Linux operating system, and the password for that is username root and then the same password, capital PAL0, capital ALT0. So that's us in, the password's working. We'll check the firewall. Sign on for the firewall itself is admin, and the password is also admin. Check the routers as well. So the sign on for this is root, and then capital PAL0, capital ALT0. Right, so we've now successfully signed into each. We'll now jump onto server 2016 to check to make sure that we can actually access the firewall itself. So we'll just clear off any restart messages that we've got. Doesn't really matter which one you choose. We'll close the server manager, we don't need that anymore. And then we'll open up the Google Chrome browser. From here we need to sign on to the IP address of the firewall itself. So if we go back to our network configuration diagram, you'll see that the VM50 has a management IP address of 192.168.1.254. So that's the address that we need to connect to. So HTTPS and then 192.168.1.254. You get this is not a private connection warning if we click on advanced and then proceed to 192.168.1.254. We're then presented with a PaloAlto Networks login page. Just sign on with the same username and password that we did for the command line firewall, which is just admin and admin. Then we've got a new customer message, so we can just click on do not show again and close. And that's it. Your VM workstation set up, your VMs have been imported in, and we have switched them all on to make sure they're all working. I will try and make other videos for each of the labs just in case anybody's having any issues with working on the labs in their own time.